Okay, so welcome back to our discussion on Knowledge Management 101. So now let's proceed with knowledge management, what and why. Okay, so the changing times, why knowledge is essential in today's modern business environment. Okay, according to Berson's Modern Learner Profile, okay, this is actually a snapshot of the challenges facing learning professionals today based on their analysis and survey. 1% of a typical work week is for employees to focus on training and development. Only 1%, okay, in a work week. 25% decay in attention span between 2000 and 2016. So meron daw attention span decay of 25% within those years. Another is on the findings, 67% of all workers use mobile and wireless computing, which is very um, timely naman talaga within this um, century, 21st century. 70% of learners turn to search engines for knowledge. Okay. Most of the professionals now and learners are turning to search engines to gain knowledge. Another is 80% of employees believe that sharing knowledge with their team is very important and essential. Okay, that's good. 80%. 57% of interruptions at work are from social media tools and apps, which is very rampant naman yan. Would only based on the discipline of every employee or worker. 75% of workers state that they are stressed at work. Okay. Marami ring nagsasabi na stress na rin sila sa work. Okay? And I think this is one of the issues being faced now by professionals in these challenging times. Okay? Kasi nga nagbabago na rin ang generation, nagbabago ang working environment, working behavior, and working platforms, okay, in every organizations. Now, what does the modern profile, what does a modern worker profile means? Ano ang sinasabi ng profile na ito? They have their hands full with deadlines, okay, rapidly shifting roles and responsibilities, and almost constant interruptions, okay. This is true. Everyone has lots of deadlines to do, so lahat na lang parang nagmamadali. Okay. There's a rapid shift in the roles and responsibilities of every individual. Okay. Then they need learning that is current, easy to digest, and accessible when and where they need it. Okay. Ang trend ngayon ay karamihan ang gusto na nila ay madali lang yung mga madaling gawin, madaling intindihin. Ayaw na nila yung masyadong wordy. What they want is that when you look at certain image, you can understand what does it want to convey. For example, yan, sabi niya, accessible when and where they need it. Okay? Ang gusto ng karamihan ngayon, kung hinanap nila, dapat they can search at the tip of their finger. Okay? When you have your mobile device, pag-click ko lang dun, dapat nakikita ko na yung kasagutan sa aking mga tanong. Okay? At the tip of my finger, nakikita ko na kung ano yung mga data na hinahanap ko. Okay? So that is a challenging experience or challenge to every professionals nowadays, especially in this 21st century. Now, this is a calling question. What helps an organization perform its job well and promptly? Okay? Paano natin magagawa ang trabaho natin ng maayos at mabilis? Okay. Answer always fall into 4 categories. Okay. 4 assets. We call these assets for a better work performance. Okay, let's begin. Ano nga ba yung 4 na yan? Okay, this is one of the topics I have gained or we we have undergone during our training on knowledge management at the Central Office of the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Answer always fall along four clusters. So these are the clusters. First is human capital. Human capital. This is the most important thing. Okay. Your human capital should have the character, attitude, knowledge, skills, experiences, personality, self-motivation, health, recreation. Okay. Next is the structural capital. These are also one of the very important assets that an organization must have. Access to information, okay, internal, business processes, learning processes, innovation, structure, tools, guidelines, support systems, caring and empowering policies. The third cluster and asset is stakeholder capital. Okay. Capital or asset, tawag nila dyan. These are your capitals and your assets. Important capital or assets. It's very important also to have your external linkages. Okay. Bawat isa sa atin dapat you have your friends, you have your networks. Okay. So kung may mga kailangang isolve na problem, you call these networks. Business partners. Okay. Beneficiaries, peers, colleagues, teamwork. Okay. Morale, cooperation, interpersonal relationship, recognition, and trust from the supervisor. Napaka-importante niyan. And then, of course, how can you perform your job faster? It's very important that you have these tangible assets. Okay? Paano mo magagawa kahit meron kang human assets na may matatalino, magaling, skilled, may experience, kahit meron kang nandyan sa iyo ang information, okay? Hawak mo ang pinakamagandang business processes kung wala ka namang tangible assets like technology, equipment, facilities, financial resources, conducive workplace, good, kahit may magandang bayad yan, incentive, benefits, and perks. Okay? So these are all the contributory factors or capital and assets, okay, for us to perform our work better. Okay? Yun yung sinasabi niyo dyan. That is actually according to the book of Dr. Serafin Talisayon on the 99 paradigm shift for survival in the knowledge economy. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's go now to the basic KM framework and let's take a look on the relationship of these knowledge assets or capital. Okay, so there we have the knowledge assets, action, and value creation. Knowledge assets refers to the accumulated intellectual resources of your organizations. That would include the human capital, the four clusters: structural capital, relational capital, and of course the tangible assets. Okay, and for your action, okay, with all those resources and assets and capitals, you will be able to perform the task or run the program or create projects properly. You're able to decide and create policies or develop policies. Okay? Siyempre, if you have this human capital that have the experience and skill, it is expected that they will be able to perform the function, to create good projects or programs, and decide or create policies that would benefit for your organization, and you will be able to come up with a value-driven outputs. Okay. So value creation happens when a business or organization uses its work and resources to create something of value that is sold to customers or your clients. Okay. In turn, the business earns a profit if this is a financial or geared towards profit. Institutions, business earns the profit for what it has created, and the customers have a want or need fulfilled. So you will be able to satisfy, okay, the expected outcome or the expected output, okay, or targets to be accomplished. Okay, let's take a look further. So knowledge management, okay, sourcing and deploying the knowledge assets. So yan yung napag-usapan natin kanina, the human capital, structural capital, relational capital, and tangible assets for a better organizational performance. So you expect that there's a better quality of service. Okay, your work will be done faster. Siyempre, kung complete ang mga staff, okay, complete ang yung mga linkages or partners, and then complete ang yung mga uh, tangible or technologies assets. Okay, what do you expect? No or less mistakes. Okay, public stakeholders are happy because you're able to serve the purpose of your organizations or your relevance in a community for that matter. And of course, our very aim at productivity, you expect that your organization will be productive and effective. Okay. Moreover, KM and practical terms. Okay. So with KM, we can finish our work faster if we have our capital or assets. So yeah, for example, yeah, structural capital. Okay, so reuse work templates. Okay, we are required to do reports, for example. So mabilis na lang ang ating mga ginagawa kasi we're able to establish templates. Okay, that's one tool. And then needed information are at my fingertips. Okay, yan naman ang gusto nating lahat. Dapat pag tinanong ka, nandyan na sa the tip of your finger ang inyong mga data. Okay, support from the boss and the teammates. Okay, that's very important because that is one of the assets needed, the relational capital. And of course, decision rules are clear. And then, of course, I know what works well from past experience. Okay, if you have this human capital that are skilled and have the experience required to perform the job. Okay, at a very HR, very human resource. Okay, so you expect that you'll finish your work faster. Okay, for example, let's take a look at this example from the Land Bank of the Philippines. It states here that the business process, their business process is the collection and consolidation of bank customer queuing system reports from bank branches. Okay, so the practicum is this is actually a student from Land Bank who enrolled, okay, who enrolled in KM, and then this is his study. This is her study. I'm sorry. So workplace KM practicum. So the target is standardization of work templates and decision rules. So the phase one is tagging, automatic sorting of incoming email branch reports, and the phase two is web-based semi-automated consolidation. If you're going to take a look at this, um, there's a baseline data. So there are two phases. The baseline data is just trying to automate their services. Okay, so this is the baseline. This is the original process. If you took a look at this, kunwari, the phase one is the minutes required per branches group is 22 minutes. Okay, for the phase two is 117 minutes per branches group. But after the implementation of the KM initiative, they were able to shorten, okay, the required minutes to perform the tasks required. Okay, so from 22 minutes, they were able to trim down into 6 minutes per branch groups. Okay, and for the phase two, so from 117 minutes, it becomes 18 minutes per branch group. So that would simply explain that with KM plus automation, okay, there is a great savings in time. Okay, so yun. That's just an example of how a KM is being implemented and its contribution in the workplace. Okay, this is actually already one importance of knowledge management, which we are going to discuss now. Now, why is knowledge management important? Bakit nga ba importante ang knowledge management? Okay. Knowledge management handled information and resources more effectively, because that's the main purpose of knowledge management. So you may need a knowledge management strategy if your employees are asking these questions. For example, why naranasan naman natin ito? I hope or I believe that some of us have already experienced this, and we might not be aware that these are already indicators that we need knowledge management initiatives or strategies in our workplace or in our personal documents or personal libraries or personal initiatives. Okay. So why do we keep having to relearn this? Okay. May mga times na bakit palagi na lang natin binabalikan ito? Di ba napag-usapan na natin ito or we're able to implement this, but parang bumabalik tayo sa dati. Okay. Second is, another is, haven't we done something like this before? Yun nga, parang nagawa naman na natin ito dati. Bakit parang inuulit natin? And then I feel like I'm reinventing the wheel. Okay. To keep on, for example, may ginawa kang template noon. Pero dahil hindi naayos at hindi na-store or hindi na-share properly, you're able to lose the document. Okay? Ngayon, hinahanap mo na naman when the same process or the same requirements occur. And I don't know where to find it, but I know someone did it before. Okay? It is common to us. Okay? Sometimes documents are misplaced, data are misplaced, or they are not properly saved accordingly or categorically, or or stored in database, okay, that can be accessed by anyone. For example, if a particular employee is not available in the office, okay, and then here comes the employee who are deployed in the other area and then asking this type of document or reports. Pero hindi natin mahahanap minsan, di ba? Kasi minsan yung filing natin, tayo lang yung nakakaintindi, no? Okay, yun. And then we used to have someone who knew how to do that, but he took a new job. Okay, then that is a tendency. So more and more, there's a high. The trend now is there is a high turnover of staff. Okay, maraming magaling. Pero bakit sila umaalis? Okay, maraming magaling at may kayang gumawa ng mga bagay na ito. Pero bakit sila umaalis? Diba? Bakit kasi sila umaalis? Joke. Okay, let's take a look further. Okay, so let's take a look further. Yeah. As organizations grow, the knowledge it produces grows as well. Okay, tama naman. Habang lumalaki ang isang organization, okay, lumalaki din ang yung mga products niya. Knowledge repositories or documents or institutional memories. Now, this knowledge needs to manage efficiently and systematically. So there is a need, okay? There is a need to manage efficiently and systematically this organizational knowledge, okay? So kailangan maayos, okay? Hindi pwedeng habang lumalaki ang organization mo ay watak-watak pa rin ang information within your institution, okay? Or the organizational knowledge mismo, okay? So if organizational knowledge is not managed efficiently and systematically, okay, its a sheer volume alone could overwhelm knowledge users, okay? Or worse, make them forget that such knowledge exists in the first place. Okay, so kung hindi na naaayos yung mga knowledge within your organizations, watak-watak. Okay, so most probably, bawat opisina, bawat unit ay nakakaroon na rin sila ng sarili-sarili nila. But instead of unifying it, dapat kung isang organization ito, iisa lang ang template nyo, kumbaga, no? That's one example. Hindi pwedeng sa isang opisina, for example, your main office requires this data to all the units, pero iba-iba yung template ng per unit, di ba? Hindi ba't mas maganda na yung kumukuha ng report ay dapat iisa lang yung template and you're able to share this to the different units in your offices, di ba? Parang ganun. Okay? So you could be able to manage the data or the organizational knowledge that you're getting from these people. Okay? Isang example lang yun. Now, this is a calling question. What do you think will happen if organizational knowledge is not managed properly? Okay, so I'll leave that question. Maybe we could share also your thoughts after my report. Now, here, let's take a look at this. Okay. With effective knowledge management, organizations can, sabi na dito, avoid repeating past mistakes. So ito yung importance, okay? These are among the importance of knowledge management. With effective knowledge management, organizations can avoid repeating past mistakes. Okay? Ikaw ba, kahit alam mong nagkamali ka noon, pag na-encounter mo ulit yun, inuulit mo pa rin gawin or ginagawa mo pa rin or you are diverting because you will already know the result of that encounter. Okay? Second, make better plans and decisions that are anchored in experience. So with KM, okay, we make better plans and decisions that are anchored in experience. Kasi nga, we always dwell on the experience of your people or the experience of the organization. Make knowledge sharing or learning a conscious and habitual process within its routes. Okay, so with KM, we make knowledge sharing as a institutional practice, because we are geared towards a learning organization, okay, or a learning unit, or a learning, ayun, a learned organization that everyone is informed, okay, everyone has the opportunity to learn, okay, for the advancement of the organization or your job, particularly our job, okay, kasi nga productivity yung pinag-uusapan natin or ang ating ang promote ng knowledge management, okay. With KM, tap into knowledge and experiences that would otherwise just remain within the minds of individuals. So with KM, we're able to explore, okay, or tap our human capital, okay, or with their experiences, okay. So they were able to share para hindi naman siya nag-stay na lang doon sa minds sa mga people. Remember the tacit knowledge, okay? Ang target natin is this should be documented or transformed into an explicit knowledge, okay? So that these minds or these experiences will not just remain in the minds of individuals. Another, highlight good practices that can be replicated by others. Isang usapin din dito sa KM ay yung good practices. Okay? Kaya lumabas yung mga good practices, success stories, okay? Success stories from particular organizations or individuals or process. Yan. So, with KM, we are able to highlight good practices that can be replicated by others. So, maaaring ang practice mo dito sa yung organization is also applicable to other institution, okay? And this would be helpful for them to be able to perform their function or their work better, faster, okay, and productively. Okay, break knowledge silos and encourage stronger networks among its employees. Okay, with KM, nababawasan natin ang knowledge silos. And we were able to encourage stronger networks among employees. Okay, kasi when we initiate knowledge sharing, okay, magkakaroon tayo ng interrelational within our organization. Kasi minsan, kahit nasa isang opisina tayo, sa atin-atin lang yung, may mga ganun, parang makasarili. But if you are within an organization, especially these private institutions, as much as possible, you're able to share, okay, what you have, okay, what you know about these things in a proper manner. Support system na din because of when you know someone from other office have this kind of expertise, okay? For example, sa mga librarians, di ba? Kung hindi natin alam yung ginagawa natin sa office natin, and then you trust someone or you know someone who has this experience, we were able to tap them, okay? And ask on their experiences. And with that, it can contribute to the it can contribute solution to our current problems or challenges in our offices or particularly our libraries. Okay. With KM, dramatically reduce costs because employees will know right away that something has already been done before and where they can get knowledge about. As such, they will not try to reinvent the wheel. Okay. Kasi dahil sa KM, pinopromote nga natin as much as possible, we should input in place system, okay? So we try to document processes, okay? Yun yung isang ina-highlight natin dyan, so that we will not keep on reinventing the wheel or paulit-ulit natin ginagawa ang isang proseso, ang isang trabaho kung, di ba, kung minsan kasi ang trabaho natin, may gagawin ka ngayon and then it will reoccur in the next month. So for example, you have this monthly report. So pag monthly report yan, it is expected that establish already the needed information. Okay, so you use your work templates. Okay, so meron kang monthly template ng report mo. That should be established already so that in the next month, you will just get the data needed. Okay, mas madali na lang yung trabaho mo, hindi yung kada monthly report, gagawa ka na naman ng bagong template, di ba? Or not, kahit hindi lang monthly report, yung annual report, ano pa. Or the commonly data or reports that are required for you by your immediate supervisor or other offices, okay, or other libraries. For example, monthly or quarterly initiatives. Palagi naman yan. What are the basic reports that is being required in your institution? Dapat gawan na natin yan ng mga templates or a unified, kumbaga, kung pwede nga magkaroon pa na ng unified portal where this information needed by different offices or units within your organization ay madali mo na lang nakukuha kasi you already have this kind of portal, okay, that consolidates the reports from your unit for that instance. Example lang yun, you know, just to explain this statement or this um, importance of KM. Okay. Okay, so sabi din dito, here is one statement. Okay, sabi niya, since the KM ay we would like to instill nga yung preservation of organizational knowledge. Okay, sabi niya dito, keep up with KM, we keep up with present social realities, the new normal. Okay, sabi niya dyan. So nako-compare minsan kasi pag this data or this organizational knowledge are documented and preserved, di ba? You're able to compare your past experience with the present realities. Okay? So nagkakaroon ka na ng proper way of decision making, okay? Or projection kung ano ang maaring mangyari in the future, okay? Out of the past, okay? Preserve and celebrate past achievements, yun nga. So in the past, you're able to preserve the organizational performance in the last 10 years. Okay. And then here comes up to 20 years. Okay. Pwede mong balikan. Ne? And you are able to compare the performance or you're able to compare the journey or how were you able to come up and become the most performing organization. Okay. Or a learned organization for an instance. Diba? Yeah. So these are some, okay, of the KM importance, okay, in a particular organization or even in our personal life. Okay, you can read actually or watch on YouTube some of the KM benefits or what are the benefits that knowledge management can give us for. So pwede pa kayong manood kung gusto niyo pang malaman. But I'm just laying down the basic, okay, importance or purpose kung bakit nga ba ginagawa natin or gagawin natin ang knowledge management